Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and welcome to another episode of me promoting one of my 20 YouTube channels. Because I'm trying to think, how am I gonna do one if I'm doing a gaming episode? How would that? I don't even know. I don't even know how that would work out, but I think I can manage something like just take the audio from the, but I need like a audio, like a game where it's like mainly focused on audio, but not. But what game will be focused on? I guess I can like do like a commentary thing, like explaining to y'all what's being shown, and then yeah, I think I could do something like that. But that's not what I'm gonna be doing in this episode. So for those that don't know, I love like solving mysteries and unsolved mysteries type situations, and I love always giving my input on mysteries, and then also just like learning about unsolved mysteries and seeing if I can solve them myself. If you guys check out my main YouTube channel, I have like a bunch of videos from one channel, Fact Faction. I have reacted to a lot of their videos, and they've done like unsolved mystery cases and things, and there's one that's like been blowing up a lot recently, and it's about like this kid. So this kid, he ended up getting killed at his school, and they don't know how he died. Well, they discovered his body, and he was like put in, like he was like wedged in the middle of this mat. Like there's like, you know how like they got those wrestling mats where it was rolled up, and he was like in the middle of it. So they people think that he was put there. People think that he got in there and got stuck, but if he did, my thing is, it's like I would think that he would be alive long enough to overall. I don't know how it is to be in one of those things, so that's why I'm like, I would have to place myself in a situation, like obviously have people around and things, but I don't know how long they said he was in there. But I think they was like, then they said his organs was missing, and I'm like, Dad, I don't know about that. Something don't seem right, but they think that he was killed, and then he got put in those mats, because I think one of the situations that I heard was that he was talking to this guy's like girlfriend at the school, so they think it was that kid. I don't know, but anyways, yeah, I'm like, nah, if that's the reason, then I'm like, yeah, people, they take that stuff to the heart, where somebody's talking to their girl and I gotta go get revenge or something. So anyways, yeah, I personally believe in a situation like that, like somebody might have gotten killed, because I don't know, like I'm trying to think. I can't think of too many times I've been in like stuck situations, like I've been wedged in something or been stuck in something. But I would imagine that, he would be able to. And I guess they say he was trying to get his shoes. Like he loaned his shoes off to some other kid or something like that. So I'm like, that story, I'm going to have to read more into that story and things, because I'm like, something just don't seem right. But anyways, but no, what I wanted to talk about in today's episode was the Tupac story. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody knows who Tupac Shakur is. If you don't, probably one of the most biggest and motivational rappers. Like a lot of rappers today look up to this man, because back in the 90s he took over the rap scene. I was born in 96, and I was born like a month before he passed. So, but I just, based off of what everybody says about him, like, cause a lot of rappers, you will hear a lot of rappers compare themselves to Tupac or say that they're better than Tupac. And I've heard where it's like rappers, they're like, oh, I'm the new Pac, or I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, look, Tupac is Tupac. You're Lil Wayne, you're Lil Pump, you're freaking whoever, all right? Because I think Lil Pump, I think he did come out and say some stuff. Or was it Lil Xan? Yeah, freaking, well, I think Lil Pump did too. I can't remember, but I remember Lil Xan was like, he was being disrespectful to Tupac. He said something was all like, cause I think he gave his music a bad rating or something like that. And he was like, oh, I don't listen to him. I don't listen to Tupac and things. I'm like, bro, I'm just, I don't know, like, maybe there's just, I ain't gonna overall get on him on his preference or choice of music, but like, I just feel like that he was personally being a little bit too disrespectful to Tupac, the way he was coming off at things. So I'm like, I don't know, me personally, if I wasn't a Tupac fan, I would tell people like, hey, like I don't really listen to his music that much, so don't trip. I listen to other artists, I listen to other rappers and things, and I just be like, I wasn't a big Tupac fan. I'm like open to the idea of being a Tupac fan, but I'm just not a Tupac fan currently. I'm not going to be a fake fan and make it seem like, oh yeah, I know all his songs, I know all his music, and literally can't like remember not one of his lyrics. So that's why I'm like, not even the easiest or the simplest lyrics, or not even a song or something. So I'm like, I'm not gonna be a fake fan on TV and things or on the YouTube video or anywhere, just to impress some people. I'm gonna be straight up and be like, yo, I'm not a Tupac fan. So, but anyways, so Tupac, back in '96, because I did mention that. Back in 1996, Tupac was tragically shot. He didn't die the same day he was shot, but he died, I think it was like a few days or a week later. But I think I had personally solved that case because just hearing, and seeing things from this case, I'm like, I think the person that I believe that shot and killed him, or might have been there when he was shot and killed, was the person that he fought the same night he was shot. So that night, he was just getting out of a Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson was boxing the night of, and so he was leaving the fight, talking about it because Mike Tyson won and all that. So he's talking about the fight, talking with his friends and all that. And a couple of associates, a part of Death Row Records, the record label that he was signed to, came up to him and said, "Hey, there's these dudes that we fought at the mall. They're here, and they just standing here. So let's go over and approach them." And the majority of like Death Row Record associates, they were like gang members or rappers or former gang members, now rappers. But the majority of everybody in Death Row Records, I think Tupac might have been the only one that wasn't a gang member. He might have been associated with them, but he wasn't a gang member himself. He wasn't like, oh, I'm a Blood or I'm a Crip. He's just Tupac. But anyway, that's why I say like the majority, but not all of them and things. So, but anyways, I think Suge Knight, I think he was a Blood. Snoop Dogg was a Crip, but I think Dr. Dre was signed to them. He wasn't a gang member, so yeah, like the majority of them though, like, cause it was Suge Knight's record label at one point. So yeah, it just turned into, well, I think it already was like a gang, associated record label and things. But anyways, regardless, so they approached the guy, I guess, that they had some problems with, because I guess the reason why they approached the guy is because I guess it was him and some other people had took one of their chains that was one of the people's chains that was associated with Death Row Records. So Tupac, him being the friend that he is, he has to defend his friend. So he can't just be allowing people just to steal his friend's chain and stuff. So he approaches the guy, punches him, gets him on the ground, starts beating at him, and then a bunch of other Death Row members, they start beating on the guy, and then eventually they left. And then Tupac went back to his hotel, changed into his clothes, and then I think they were heading to a club. I think, yeah, because the club's name, the reason why I remember the club's name, because my work number was like the number of the club, so it was, the club's name was Club 662. My code to punch in for work, the ending of it ended in 662. So yeah, that's why I remember that club so well. But anyways, they were heading to this Vegas club because they were in Vegas, and so that's like the majority. For those that don't, you're not like a United States person, like you don't really know the United States too well. A lot of boxing fights happens in Vegas because they have the MGM Grand hotel, and I think that's the area where like all the boxing matches be happening and stuff. So anyways, but so I think, I don't know if they were there. They might have been at another spot, but I think they might have been at MGM because that's where all the big, like, dudes, the big boxers, that's where they all fought at and things, like the big named ones. So anyways, but no, so Tupac went back to his hotel. He changed into some clothes, and then he went back out to go hang out with like Death Row members, Suge Knight and all them. And that's when he got on the road and he was heading to the club. That's where he was like he came to a stoplight and then a car pulled up on the side of him and opened fire. Tupac was shot multiple times in vital areas. I think one of the areas that he got, well, I think I think they did say he got shot in his chest, but he did get shot in his lung. And I read somewhere that they had to remove his lung and things because it was badly damaged and stuff. So he was when he was at the hospital, I think he was breathing through tubes. He was alive, and I think based off of what everybody said that had visited him at the hospital, he seemed like he could have recovered and came through and stuff. But I believe that's what he did die of was I think he went into cardiac arrest, had like some internal bleeding going on, and then that's how he eventually had passed. So it I wasn't there to hear it, but I remember I watched the video. The rap artist Nas had announced it at one of his shows. I remember Snoop Dogg was in an interview and he was very sad about his death. So I had watched a lot of things surrounding Tupac, talking about the time he died, and a lot of artists and people was like upset and they were sad about the situation and things. So getting on the guys that was a part of his murder. Now, the guys that Tupac had fought were gang members. I believe they were Crips. And so usually when a gang member, if anybody, if you get into a fight, or not even that, if you get beaten down, you are going to want revenge. You are going to want, and then if you're friends, if you know that your friends just got beaten down, you're going to want to avenge your friends. You're going to want to do something in retaliation to get back at the people to let them know, hey, that ain't going to slide with us. Plus, with gang members, it's like you can't just allow somebody to beat you and then just think you're going to like go home afterwards. Like, nah, you got to do something about that. If you can't, then have it in your plans. But a gang member, I'm not a gang member. I don't know no gang members. I'm not associated with no gang members. But I just know that a gang member, it's a, I don't know, like not an instinct, but it's just a mind. I guess it's just a mindset. I'm not trying to say I'm in the mindset of a gang member, but hopefully people understand what I'm saying. It's like a gang member is just not going to allow some big time rapper gonna beat him up so that rapper can brag about it, make music about it and all of that. That's not happening. All right, so that gang member, and plus he was with I think he was with some family, he was with some friends, they were all gang members. So anyways, what do you think they're going to do after they just got into a fight with Tupac? They're not just going to be like, oh man, like, let's just go home and things. Let's go back to the hood and tell everybody that I just got beaten up by Tupac. You will never ever hear a gang member talk about how they got beaten up by somebody. Never. So they're all like, they got to go, like the story that they got to go back with is that we killed Tupac. And sure enough, that's eventually what they ended up doing, because after the fact that it was either the guy that they ended up fighting, because there was one guy that they beat down, but he was with some other people, and his name I think his name was Orlando Anderson. His name was Orlando Anderson. So Orlando Anderson, he gets beaten up by these guys, and I'm positive, I am 100% sure that the people that he was with was like, yo, you got to do something about this. You can't just go back to the hood and stuff and just, everybody's going to be talking about it and stuff, be like, oh, you got beaten up by Tupac and things. And so, anyways, so what are they going to do? They're going to drive around, they're going to look for him. They're going to be like, we know he's going to be out and about somewhere, so we're going to have to look for him. And how they found Tupac, so Tupac was outside of the window, or that, not the window, but it is a window, but the sunroof part of his car, talking to some women, saying like, hey, we're going to be at this club and things, and inviting them over and stuff. And so they said that they had seen him. I think it was, so Orlando Anderson, he had an uncle with him at the time. That's why I have to say he was with some friends and family, because he had an uncle with him at the time. And he pretty much came out and exposed them on what happened. Like he said like, yo, we was there, like we killed them. Like I ain't gonna tell you who pulled the trigger, but one of us pulled the trigger, all right? So he told he came out on some like TV show or something, and he told like what had happened, how he seen Tupac like out the sunroof of his car and things, and said that they did a U-turn, came around and stuff, got on the road that they were on, and then Tupac, so there were some girls I think on the left side of his car that he was talking to, inviting them to the club. They pulled up to the right side of the car, yeah, because that's how they ended up shooting him. Because if they had been on the other side of the car, they would have shot Suge Knight. Suge Knight was in the car with Tupac. So they had to been on the right side of the car to shoot Tupac so many times and stuff. And I think the only injury that Suge Knight had got was, I think it was some glass or something had cut him on the top of his head. So Suge Knight was pretty much fine, but Tupac, yeah, he got the worst end of the stick. And so, anyways, but yeah, so the guy ends up coming out, Orlando Anderson's uncle. He ends up coming out and talking about how one of them had shot and killed Tupac, and then that's the part where he gonna stop and not tell the story. So they asked him, oh, well, who pulled the trigger? Because he had dug himself in a hole pretty much. And then he was like, oh, wait a second, I didn't realize what I was doing and stuff. And so he just got carried away telling the story. And then they were all like, oh, well, since we not made it this far in the story, who shot Tupac? And he's like, oh, I can't tell y'all that because that's breaking the code and I can't be no snitch and things. I'm like, bro, you just told us it was you, a driver, Orlando Anderson, and some other gang member. It was the four of you in the car, unless a spirit somehow formed its life, pulled some imaginary gun out, shot Tupac. That's the only way that you guys can prove your innocence, unless the car that you were in was haunted. But I highly doubt a gang member is going to be having some haunted car. So that's why I'm like, you just snitched on yourself. You just told on yourself. And I know people would be like, oh, well, he said that, so we got to arrest Orlando Anderson because he was a part of the murder and stuff. And that's not going to be possible because Orlando Anderson ended up dying 2 years later after the situation. So he died in 98 because this guy named Keith D or something like that. I think that's his uncle, and that's his uncle, and told the whole story. And I'm like, bro, I don't even understand. Dang, he was 23 years old when he got killed. That's wild. That is some wild stuff. But anyways, he ended up dying because he got into a shootout with Bloods, and he ended up dying himself. So there was no possible way of him getting arrested. But what else was I gonna say? But I think they did say that he did go back because he's from Compton, California and stuff. So for those that don't know, there's a lot of gang activity in Compton, California, and they say he went back home. People were saying that he went back home and was bragging about it. So he had something to do. If he didn't pull the trigger, he had something to do, or he definitely was there the day that Tupac was shot. So he was in the car that pulled the gun out and started shooting Tupac. So it's like he can't, and that's something. And then on top of that, I'm gonna end the episode off here. So you can watch this interview of him when he was on the news and they were questioning him about it. His attitude, because I would be, upset like that. I've been accused. I'm like, look, I understand that we did get into a fight, but I did not shoot and kill Tupac. The way his attitude was about it, he's like, man, I didn't kill Tupac. What you talking about? Like, he just had this don't care attitude. And I'm like, maybe that was just his attitude. I don't know. But he just came off as that he knew. He knew. He was smiling in the interview. He's like, oh, I'm a big Tupac fan. I love Tupac. I'm like, that's nah. And then I remember there was this TV show where it was some person, if a random person like myself can notice that he wasn't acting right in that interview, there is a detective or somebody that can detect whether a person is lying or not. And they were saying, based off of how he was acting, you can tell that he was lying and you can tell that he knew what happened that day. So anyways, Orlando Anderson, guilty for shooting and killing, or for being a part of the shooting and killing of Tupac. So anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on a podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. And if you're purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. And if you're purchasing any gear from Vasilo, make sure you guys use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock 10% off of your next purchase. And I have an ad on my YouTube channel that can take you directly to Vasilo. Also on the in the description of all my latest videos on my main channel and my gaming channel, you can find it link there. So anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.